Hello, everybody. It's definitely a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are for the singing bowl today. So we're going to start with that really quick as I wish you a happy full moon. So welcome everybody to this week's Language Facilitation Energy Focus. My name is Marci Melzer, and I'm an intuitive speech and language pathologist and language facilitation coach and consultant. And every week I do my energy focus videos. So welcome to all of you who are coming back, and welcome for the first time for all of those of you who are joining me. What I do on these videos is three things. First, I tell you a little bit about a very general astrological forecast so that we know what's going on in the heavens and what's affecting us right now with the planets. And then I tell you the top 3 videos of the week to work with that planetary energy to help you, empower you as a language facilitator. And then the third thing I'm going to do today is share one of my language facilitation inspiration cards, which just literally before this video, I have submitted the shipping thing for my first order of them. They are done. The draft number 1 is in the books. So you'll learn more about that coming up. But let's get started today talking about the astrology. And I've got this beautiful background because we have a beautiful full moon that is activated. The moon is at its highest energy literally right now that it's gonna be for the next month, right? And so what we have is the moon is sitting in Aries, where it's very fiery. Now, the moon itself is sitting in Aries, but it doesn't light up by itself. It lights up from the sun when it's full. That's projecting, and the sun is sitting over here in Libra, at the very edge of Libra. In fact, over the next 24 hours, I think it's going to be moving into Scorpio, which is interesting because right while this moon, even while it's still fully lit up by the sun is making a shift. It's changing from the discussion, figure it out sort of way to go about communicating and thinking and projecting to the world into the more emotional Scorpio. Let's do it deep. Let's dig in and really get to work here. So that's very exciting energy lit up by this Aries full moon. And then to flavor it, which we always talk about the other planets, how they flavor the sun and the moon because they affect us most. They're the ones that affect everybody all the time, and the energy changes because the moon moves fast. But these other planets, right, Mercury and Jupiter both move direct, meaning that it looks like in the sky, if you're looking through a telescope, that they're going in the right direction, the same direction that all the other planets are going, which looks like what's called forward movement. And that's why today's theme for today's video is this idea of power up your forward movement, because what I want to encourage you to do this week is to work with these energies so that you are doing what the sun is doing, thinking about shifting from analytics. What did I do? We've just come out of Mercury retrograde where you were rethinking, redoing, reshifting, finding new things, giving up old stuff, deciding what's new. I like this better than this. Now you know what you like, and Aries full moon's going to light it up and show you even more how to make it happen, how to integrate it through your heart and through your emotions and because the daily practice stuff, you know what to do. Now it's the time to stay with it. Your dedication, your motivation, the energy, the emotion you put behind it is going to be really important for you to activate now. So what I have for you in the process of activating all of this forward movement where you're going to really power it up is the first thing you need to always power up your activity is the right tools, right? You need to understand the right tools. So the first video I have for you this week is this one, which is 5 necessary tools for effective language facilitation. And the kicker is all of these tools that you see in this video, and again, all the links for these videos are in the description below this video. All the tools that are described in the video that I'm sharing with you are things that you already have available to you, especially if you are already used to using some of the tools that I put out and give you from my website, from my YouTube channels, from my videos, from my book, things like that. So those 5 tools will equip you, because when you gonna power up your forward movement, the first thing you want to make sure is that you have all the equipment that you need. And remember, these things are within you, so you want to access them. And one of those tools, I promise you, spoiler alert, is your intuition. And so that video that I just told you shows you how to power up all 5 of those tools for this and use this full moon energy. Okay, the next video that I have for you is this one, and it is 5 things your school speech therapist wants you to know. Now, this girl, if she looks familiar or looks sort of familiar on that screen there, is my daughter, and she is a school speech and language pathologist. This year, she's working with a combination of middle school kids in one school and preschoolers in another school, and she's having a combination of things. And this video was made last year when we talked a lot about online therapy. So wherever you are, if you're in Australia and you're in lockdown, things like that, and you're working at all with a school speech therapist, you're definitely going to want to watch this video, because it will help you work with that therapist for better outcomes. You trust your therapist to help you, help them help you get better outcomes with this video. And then I'm just going to move into the next one, which is this. And every week, of course, I share with you a mindset blockage video where it is, like I said, just like those tools are in you, the same things that keep you stuck are also within you, right? And so this video will show you 5 mindset traps. Now, also you'll look that I'm just going to flip over here. There's 5 tools and 5 things your school speech therapist wants you to know, and 5 parent mindsets. And what's so interesting, when I'm inspired by the universe to make those videos and choose them even for you to review this week, it's really about, why I'm inspired. And I also look at the patterns of what I'm looking at, and how interesting that all of those had the number 5 in them. And the number 5, if you follow numerology at all, and the energy behind that number, is about change. 5 is about change, but it's also about kind of new change. Like you have to give up old stuff for new things. Like you've created this new space. So it is time for the changes to kick in. And these particular videos are designed by guidance. Remember, every video I put out is inspired by the universe and God and whoever's guided me out here doing these waves of communication videos for you and inspires me to make them every week. Whatever higher power is guiding me, that's how it works. I just want to tune you in. This is your info week, your info of the week video, so you can get empowered. Now, what I want to share with you right now is my newest language facilitation card that I want to use with you to inspire thinking about that 5 and number of change, and what might you have to stop this week, that, what's left over after Mercury retrograde, the one last thing that you really need to kick out of your blockage habits. Again, that mindset trap, that'll help you find them. But here's one that I have seen that's coming up, kind of all over the place. And here it is right here. And it says, let's stop fighting. Let's stop fighting. Right? Because we've got a full moon in Aries that is very passionate, and you could be wanting to fight your way to get to those things that you decided during Mercury retrograde that you want to do. However, you get a lot farther without fighting. You get a lot farther when you work together. So let's look at the strategies that go with this card. On the back of this card, it says, be response-able or responsible. When we think about what when I always say that you are responsible for the outcomes that you see. So when your child's having a tantrum and I say something like, what did you do to trigger that? Or what happened? How did your child learn that tantrums work for them? Why did they choose to use it? Because at one point you showed them that that was a strategy that they had in their toolbox that worked for them because it worked at one point, right? And so you are responsible for all the things that are going on, and you are responsible to change them, because if you caused what's going on to be happening right now, you're just as able to change it with all these 5 videos that I shared with you this week. So again, you always have a choice to respond with love instead of fear when you're triggered by a late talker's behavior, because that's what happens. You get triggered when they scream, when they break something, when they make a mess, when they, whatever, do something that you didn't ask them to do, but it was their own idea, or they learned it from somebody else, right? Or maybe they made it up because you're yelling at them and they come up with their own way to throw a tantrum because they see you throwing tantrums of your own kind, right? Remember that you have a choice. You don't have to throw tantrums. You have higher emotional intelligence than your late talker, and we're in the process of training them. With these full moons, you have the opportunity to be aware when your late talker is triggering you on purpose, because when you're triggered, that's your opportunity to make a change. Maybe you were yelling, because remember, this thing says stop fighting. Let's stop fighting, because at one point you've been fighting, or your kiddo's been fighting, and you've been fighting back with them. Like I said, whenever that happens, what you need to do is just pause for a second when you feel frustrated and realize the one thing you can control right now in the moment is your next action. It's the one thing you have a control over right now in every moment. Maybe you don't have a control over anything. Maybe it's pouring down rain in January and you're freezing to death and you're all wet, but you have control over how you move forward to get dry. You have it. And decide to choose the response that you'll be proud of later. I know it might take more effort right now, but when you look back on this situation, which you surely will, because here's the thing that always happens to all of us, and it's just one of those mindset trap things, which is why you've got that video in your list this week. See, the thing that happens when you start fighting with each other is you live in fear. I'm worried about losing something, or I'm worried that something's not happening that I need to happen, so I need to fight for that. I need to fight against it. Somebody's trying to take something away from me, my hopes, my dreams, my outcomes, my something, and you're fighting back for it. And if your kiddo is taking away your happiness or your calm or your conscious or your relaxation moment with their activity or their noise or their whatever, it's time to realize that your kiddo has a need in that moment. Their every behavior is communication, and that's how they can move forward with everything. So, hey Mahima, hey everybody who's joining me. I just wanted to keep these videos short and remind you all that, of all the things that I remind you about is that you parents are the best language facilitators. Ooh, let me get my graphic going here. Please subscribe to my channel and join me on Thursdays for live Q&A. You're welcome to post questions on any of my videos, including this one. Oh, I forgot my other graphic this week. My top 3 videos of the week. Gosh, I guess Mercury retrograde's over, but I'm just still kind of getting my bearings under me. Remember, these top 3 videos to watch this week that will help you. They're designed with you in mind to give you the tools that you need to help you move forward as you ride out this full moon energy. And then, join me tomorrow for live Q&A. I'm taking questions. I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, just as a preview, spoiler, about how to help your kiddos once you've made that decision to take them out of a high pressure ABA or a teacher that they weren't going with, like you decided to make those changes. There are some important things that you need to know as you transition your child to a different kind of teacher, maybe a more understanding kind of teacher, because just like the sun is moving from this, we got to do things the way we got to do things, into a more emotional way, you have to help your child, your late talker, make the mindset shift of my teacher used to do things I didn't like, and my parents realized that, and they took me out of that situation, and now they put me in a different situation with a teacher or therapist or nanny or babysitter or them or you know, how are things different now? Making sure that you help your late talker energetically and emotionally make the transition out of high pressure situations that you know aren't working into new learning situations where there will still be rules. There will still be expectations. It's not all, you know, go from hardcore to freedom. You do whatever you want, whenever you want. That's not how it works at school. Late talkers have to understand how to make that transition more easily so that they maintain responsibility, just like you, right? Maintain responsibility for your action. This is what you're empowering with your late talking kids when you send them out to work with a teacher, a therapist, or you have to have somebody else spend time with them. So join me tomorrow on live Q&A where we're going to be talking about that situation and what you're going to be able to do to help your late talker make the transition. And in the meantime, start watching these videos that I recommend this week, and we'll have great stuff. So yeah, and Fatima, we'll get to your question tomorrow. I'll keep it first on my list. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. Keeping this video short for now. Get to doing your research. Use the energy. You can do this. This full moon is so powerful and so enlightening. It makes us feel like we want to do something. So figure out what's right. Get calm. It's not a high power. We got to do it, because I promise there's still more trial and error to come. There's lots of planetary things that are coming over the next couple months that could even make this plan fail in the future. But you can't think about that. You got to think about what made you choose this plan, why you're excited about it, and how you're going to get moving forward with very specific activities. That's what an Aries full moon says. Here they are. Here are the things that are going to help you. Here's what you can do. Now's the time to take your action and get going. Just like I said with my language facilitation card deck, this is first draft time. This is the time to give it your 100% into your language facilitation plan. Power up that forward movement. Dig in. If you were doing an hour a day, increase your time. If you're talking more slowly during one or two ideas during the day, increase that amount of them. Decrease your rate of speech. Watch, analyze, take videos. All of the strategies are here on the channel for you to use. You need to decide, because these videos are general and you need to decide how to use this energy for yourself. That's my job as a language facilitation coach and consultant, is to equip you with the strategies you need, empower you with the energy you need and the motivation you need. And I promise you, you'll see the results that other parents all over the world are getting from language facilitation, because it does work. And it works when you use it properly. And that's what we're all here for, to learn together. So I'll see you tomorrow for live Q&A. And until then, get to work, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.